All right, this is the legislative committee meeting. It is 5 p.m. on July 14th. Yeah, 14th. All the committee members are here. Check, check, check. We had an opportunity to read the minutes from our last meeting. Any corrections, changes?
Nope,
Okay.
not on my end.
I didn't see any. Full council member Don Matheson's in the audience. Do we have anybody from the general public that would like to comment?
Sorry.
Right on time.
State your name.
Michael Stolzer, regarding an issue that I brought before, and looking to.
You were here before about administrative fees, just for clarity, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And in particular regarding the fees assessed to my son at 21-23 West Street.
Right. And you want to raise, which thoughts, Mike, did you want to raise?
I'm sorry?
Which thoughts did you want to raise?
The thoughts I'd like to raise?
Yes, sir.
Well, that $10,000 is ridiculously excessive for not turning in paperwork.
Okay.
There are lots of issues there. At a fundamental level, I'd like to see someone reduce the required amount of money. I think, as I've said repeatedly, a fine is justified, but an appropriate amount would be appropriate. What $10,000 is far from that. So adjusting that amount is the basic concern. Beyond that, how we got to that is another concern.
Right.
And I think that there are some serious issues in the way fines are being handled. There's a constitutional element here that I brought up, that due process requires your day in court, and that's not supposed to cost you $15,000. That's why if somebody is caught stealing a loaf of bread because they don't have enough money to eat, the court gives them an attorney if they can't afford one, because they're entitled to due process.
Right.
Doesn't happen here. But that's not what I'm here for. At the moment, I'm just looking out for my kid. I think there's confusion because my name is on that deed, and that's also probably a constitutional thing, to be able to say, oh, well, he can afford it, you can do it, and which is another absurd sort of position to take, because nobody knows what my financial situation is with me.
But you are the property owner though, right? I thought that's what.
So that depends on how you define property owner. I put no money into it, no effort into it. All I did was co-sign a mortgage with a private mortgage holder who required that my name be on the deed. So my name's on the deed. I have no interest in the property, one way or the other. So,
Can I
yeah,
ask
so
why-
I don't consider myself to be the owner.
Right.
I helped my son to buy it the way any other parent able to would.
Okay. There was something in October. Something was happening in October. I don't remember what it was.
Coming up in October?
Yeah, there was.
I'm not sure. That might be the 1 year mark, that
Okay.
they've been, because I spoke with Ginny and made an arrangement for them to send $100 a month for a year, or until we get this resolved. At the end of the year, I don't know what happens if we don't get it resolved, but I'd really like to see it handled humanly, you know? Aside from the cost of a lawsuit, I think there's some, and in many cultures, it's a disgrace to take somebody to court. If you can't work, human beings,
Right.
I mean, we really should be able to work things out together.
Right.
It's not like, you know, we're not in you know, the end of the world,
Right.
you know, nobody's coming for your food and ammunition. This is where
Okay.
reasonable, capable humans, and we should be able to handle all of this, even the bigger issues.
Okay. Well, thank you for resurfacing that.
Mhm. So, I guess my question is.
It would have to be a council decision. It's not, it wouldn't be a legislative committee decision, it would be a council decision.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do we get that to occur?
I'd have to ask city staff, but I'm pretty sure one of the council members would have to bring it up as a motion at a council meeting
Okay.
to have a reduced amount. I honestly forgot which ward your son's.
Oh, which one is, yeah, I think he's in
It's in the
it
8th ward.
also.
The property in question is.
West, is on West Street, 2123 West Street on,
Oh,
Might be in the 5th ward,
might be,
21-1?
I don't know.
west.
No.
I thought it was in my
It's,
ward, but I could be wrong.
It's, like,
21 West?
like if you're at Walgreens, you go up west, it's on the hill. That's what I was thinking.
Left-hand side,
Yeah.
the odds are on the left. I go up the back street, and
Oh.
that's the
Clinton?
8th. Yeah, I
So
think
that's the 8th.
Unless it got changed in the redistricting lines, that's how I'm remembering it.
I'm trying to look it
UB8 ward.
8th?
up. It's in the 8th one?
Well, this works out well. Look
Cause-
to your right.
Dawn is.
Yes, well, he's one of the people, one of the two people who responded to the email I sent out last week.
I'm sorry.
Hmm? You didn't get one?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll resend.
Okay.
I have a different, method. I was just asking for people to give me some idea what their schedules might, when they might be free to meet, so we could get some people, maybe a couple of you guys, a couple of
Right.
people from the council, a
So,
couple of people from the Board of Public Service, and actually sit together. I think that there really should be Board of Public Service should have the power to review their own decisions and readdress them.
right.
I
I'm
mean,
just
that's the
shooting
very
off-
least.
Yeah, I'm just
They
shooting off
think they
memory
can't,
though.
and it may very well be so, although I didn't find anything saying that their decision is final and can't be overturned.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, when we're at that level, it's only the council can change that.
I understand that, but you guys are the
Legislative.
legislative committee talking to the council about making those kinds of changes, so that's why
Talking
I'm
about a
here.
fee or a fine.
I figured I'd come here because you guys listen. If I go to the common council, I got 3 minutes and
Change.
none.
Okay. It's not dead.
Hmm?
We'll talk.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome.
Should I stay around or am I,
If you want to sit on that hard bench.
no, I don't know. Do you have anything interesting? Anything better than the reruns on TV?
Thank you.
Thank you guys, really. I hate all of this. I'm not, and none of you would know that I hate confrontational situations. Congratulations.
No worries.
Because it's the only time you see me, is when there's a problem that I have to feel compelled to speak about. But this is the most uncomfortable thing for me to have to do, I can't tell you. So, but I really appreciate the help. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been provided correspondence in a paper form. I would ask the committee members to go ahead and, if you need to read that.
I did.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have to read it out loud, but you could just.
Only if you ask.
Yeah. We'll go on to our first topic, which is city code review of the ADA compliance. We all had an opportunity to read the suggested ordinance. This was prepared by Greg?
Thought it might be beneficial just to give you something to start with, but feel free to take it whichever direction you intend to.
Well, I guess the one question I had down here, Greg, was who currently is the ADA coordinator?
We don't have anyone formally designated, but I've had a conversation with Chris about, at least internally designating someone in engineering, Jacob Welch.
So a city staff member being the coordinator?
Yeah,
Okay.
we typically be a staff member.
Okay.
It was previously an engineering technician.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to confirm whether that's something that needs a council motion. I don't believe that it does. It's just a designation, but maybe.
Yeah, because it's like, we don't do we don't designate who you would report harassment to and stuff like that, via motion?
No, we only do it by a motion when there's a grant requirement or some other agency requires a motion for their records, but we're not reporting.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like purchasing agent where we have to do it every year. We don't do that
Right.
for other things like that. Okay.
And to be clear, the ADA Title II does not require that there be a committee. That's up to the city. Obviously, we've had one, just hasn't been populated. But it does require the ADA coordinator. That's a position that has to be filled in some respect. And there is a complaint form, grievance form, I think is what it's called on our website.
Okay.
Right. Thoughts, changes? I appreciated the fact that you were just meeting quarterly. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Like
No need
it's
to
over.
overread.
Yeah.
You can always add if you have a reason to.
But I did question, of course, this has to go through our city attorney, Dave Merzig.
Right.
I'm not sure about the, section 5(2) subsection C, to the extent, bless you, the extent practical, I think that has to line up with what we have already, right? I don't-
So that was, the city attorney did take a look at this and had one suggested change that I put in there. It's in there now.
He agreed to that.
We recently passed the airport commission language, which allows 2 members to be nominated by county board and be county residents.
Right.
Or actually, any of those 5 members could be county
Right.
residents. So I think with a change like this approved by the council, you can allow non-city residents. You could change that however you'd like, I guess.
Right.
You could say something similar to the airport commission where a certain number of them or all of them can be, or the idea here, the extent practical, I'm looking back at the past, I don't know if they were all city residents, I assume they must have been.
We have constituted one member on that board in my 10 years up in that office, and they were not a city resident.
Right, and I think the idea then was trying to get someone from the Catskill Center for Independence or some of the other agencies that may have expertise in this realm and make sense to be on. the commission.
Definitely makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They might not be city residents.
Understand, but I think we just need to craft the words so that maybe one would be outside and the rest, 4 would be city residents. That's my thoughts. I mean, they're gonna be working with Chris and others and city staff looking at public property throughout the city of Oneonta. I would rather first have city residents.
Can I just suggest maybe possibility of 2 of them, just because when I was on human rights, we had such a challenge getting people who had like background and understanding and like the people were spread across too many boards already.
Okay.
Right, or, and if I would bring someone in from outside of the city, they couldn't join the board because they weren't from the city. So that excluded, it excluded a lot of people.
Right.
So it's like, if it's possible, since we're looking for a specific, for this, a certain type of professional,
Right.
or people in the community, if we could at least have the possibility of 2, if that would be okay?
Yeah.
If they wanna
I think
populate,
two out of the 5 would work
can be just in case.
because
It
it's so
just was
specialized.
so,
Right.
it was
Right,
such a
we had
problem.
that with the airport commission, sort
Well,
of saying that
that's-
there, and like plumbing,
That's
you know?
recognizing that it's really a county asset, right? Because it
Right.
doesn't, the location of it doesn't necessarily bode well inside the city limits, but.
We talked about that with plumbing though too, and electrician, there's there's specialized knowledge
Sure.
that you have to have, and so that does limit the pool,
Right.
a little bit. Can I offer a different suggestion?
Sure.
Which would be to say that there could be 5 voting members, but that,
Mhm.
just like how we have Dr. Georgeson join us for community wellness, that experts or interested individuals, no matter where they're from, could be
Right.
appointed and just not be voting members.
I like that.
I like it too.
Oh, good. Cool.
No, that's good. Because like both have said, this is specialized.
Yes.
And you're gonna need somebody that has some experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
Right,
Or
and
Because then there
from-
isn't a limit how many experts you could have, they just wouldn't get a vote.
And I don't know what happened, Mark, or the city between the Center of Independence and them, but something went down. And so I think they're apprehensive right now, and maybe rightfully so, and
Wow.
Okay.
so, just to open it up to more than just that space,
So I guess for formality, we'll go with 2 out of the 5 could be outside of the city with specialized
Yeah,
Sure.
2 people
For
who
voting.
don't live in the city could vote.
for
There
voting
will be
members.
5 voting members, but any number of consultants could be appointed no matter your residency.
Okay. And do we count the city staff as one of those voting members?
Different, I was gonna ask about the non-voting members, do they need to be appointed with the concurrence of the council as the other membership would?
I would say no.
I would think that the committee itself would say, hey, Don's specialized in something, we would like him to be.
Right. That's what for when it's redrafted, I just wanna make
Yeah.
sure that.
That's a good question.
I would hope they wouldn't work against their best interests, but
Right.
I've seen people get taught how to work against their best interests, I guess.
I just would ask, does that need to be in the ordinance at all? If they're non-voting members, do we wanna confuse what a member is and just stick with members or the voting members? And then, someone like Diane Jorgensen, to your example, isn't a member of that committee. She's in that case, a contractor that's working for the city that's advising as the health officer.
Right.
Just like staff attending, we're not members of this committee, we're just here advising, so they can be the same
Right.
relationship with anyone else.
I don't know.
So
I mean, I like
maybe
that
instead
idea.
of putting them under the membership, Greg, could we just put it under the powers and duties that the committee has the ability to contact specialized,
Seek consultation from.
correct, have
Professionals in the
consultants that
field.
are specialized in this field?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that would make sense.
Okay. Cool.
And is that what?
That serve on the board is what I would say, or the committee,
Right.
versus than just coming and doing presentations or something.
Right, so that was sort of where I was wanting to keep it in, so I'm glad that you articulated that, it's more about asking people to join and be regular participants, even if they don't get a vote, versus a presentation or, hey, we have this project, so we're gonna ask this person, and of course you could do that, I feel like that kinda goes without saying, but just because if you have people who sort of regularly come, well, I guess it's what you said, you have people who sort of regularly come, they're sort of large numbers.
Mhm.
But, yeah, but that way it would be more like a regular attendance, like, that they would be a productive member of the committee. I mean, I feel like that's how Dr. Georgeson is, and actually, in that instance, there have been times where, like, her participation has fallen off for any number of reasons, and not any fault of her own, just like communication or whatever, or the meeting got changed, and so I think including language that specifically includes non-voting members kind of codifies them as like valuable participatory members of the committee versus just like somebody who shows up every once in a while. So that's sort of the definition that I'm thinking. So I like that you added that. Sorry, that was
Being
a
able
lot
to
of
cite
words.
participation.
Right. Like you're not just like asked to be here for one thing or one project. Like, please come help us. But I'm sorry, you can help
So
me out
something,
here.
well, I'm just speaking, I'm thinking out loud here, but something along the lines of the committee may designate non-voting members at its discretion, and non-voting members may participate in committee discussion,
I mean, it's
as
just,
opposed to a member of the public who is there to make a public comment during the period
Right.
one exists.
yeah, I mean, it's formalizing what already can happen. So, I mean, for example, you could say, you know, I want, you know, if Lauren was here, I want Lauren to sit there and be a contributing member. Any chair has the authority to add people to his meeting as they deem fit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just formalizing what's already.
Do you guys think we need to regulate how many of those specialized consultants that we put on?
I don't think we should.
I don't think so either.
Well, first of all, I think the pool is already very small,
Mm-hmm.
for this particular piece.
We
But
don't need to worry about it.
I think, you know,
Not that they're gonna grow themselves to like 20, 25 people. Okay. All right.
no, they're not
Just asking.
airport commission, no,
Okay.
but,
Or welcome task force.
Huh?
The welcome task force was like 50 people at one time.
It was fun, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
I think the more eyes we have in this, the more people we have supporting it. the
Sure.
better.
Okay. Is there any other changes?
Nope.
No, I think it's good.
And sorry, just for the voting members, 5 and 0 city governments, or was it still on 2?
I think you were saying two.
I was kind of leaning towards 2 non-city. Chris, is that all gonna shake out for you? Is that okay? Because
That's
you're gonna
fine.
oversee it, right?
Yep,
Okay.
not a problem.
Okay.
Oh. I see it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
No, you're good. Just caught my eye. I was like, wait,
I just sent that tobacco
there's
legislation
no sub four.
with a
It should just be renumbered.
Okay.
sub missing. I just sent that tobacco legislation with a sub missing for community wellness.
All right, so next up is an item we've asked Chris Yacobucci, our DPS superintendent, to come and talk about. We had a document that went our way, I believe, last month. We had a chance to review it, decided that since city staff hadn't had a chance to review it, that they needed time to. So Chris, if you would.
Sure. So this is an ordinance that was put together by the environmental board. I had a chance to review the ordinance.
What do we do now, though, for trees?
So, what we do right now is for tree plantings, so let me just back up. We have a tree inventory,
Okay.
and we are currently looking to update the tree inventory, which I believe is going on council's agenda for tomorrow night.
Yes.
So-
That's where you gave us a GIS map, right? And
Yes.
you showed us where all the
locations of
trees.
all the trees
Right.
are city responsibility, so
Right.
city right of ways, city-owned property.
And that had an update on it, right? That there was different colors on there that told us what trees were
Yes.
what?
It did,
Right.
yes.
There's a lot of information on
So, the last time that was done was 2014, Greg? Or was it 2012?
12, 13.
It's been over 10 years.
there. Okay.
And we have not been able to maintain the inventory due to staffing and lack of GIS, GPS equipment.
Right.
So the plan is now, we're gonna update it now.
Okay.
We have new GIS, GPS equipment, and the plan is to continually keep that up to date, so we don't have to redo this again.
Sure.
That's great.
So by the end of this year, late winter next year, we'll have a completed inventory. We'll know what all our trees are, we'll know what species they are, and they're also gonna identify 1,500 proposed sites for future planting sites. So we have a plan, we have a plan now to follow,
Right.
but we have an updated plan to continue to follow. And there's also, the city already has recommended plantings, the species that should be planted in the city right of ways, where they should be planted, how far away from the driveway they should be planted, how far away from utilities they should be planted. So we already have this all in place that we already follow.
Okay.
Our city arborist, our city forester, whatever you wanna name the title, they go out, they identify these sites using the map that we already have for identified site locations, plant, they make recommendations, they meet with landowners and get their input on the trees. They bring the tree recommendations back to me. We try to plant about 25 to 30 trees a year. That seems to be about manageable because we have to water them for 2 years, so you're basically watering 60 trees a year.
Right.
That's manageable. And so we take that list, we come to the environmental board and say, hey, this is where we want to plant trees. They agree or disagree, and then we adjust the planting locations accordingly. And then we send letters out to the landowners.
Okay.
And then we give them, I think, 30 days, Greg, based on our current action plan. I think it's 30 days to respond to us.
Okay.
If they don't respond, we plan on planting where we recommended. If they respond and say we're not interested, we just take them off the list.
In this particular incident, though, Chris, you're talking about in the right of way.
In the right of way.
Right.
So we only deal with right of way trees or city property trees. We don't deal with private
Private.
trees. That's not in our, that's not part of our responsibility.
Right.
So once that's done, we order the trees, our city arborist, city forester organizes with DPW, and we plant all the trees at the various 25 locations every year. As far as hazardous trees, our city arborist reviews all the right-of-ways for city-owned trees that are potential issues and private trees that are potential issues. Also, myself and my staff also keep their eyes open for tree issues when we notice them. Whoever notices it brings it to my attention. I first check to see if it's a city tree or if it's a private tree. If it's a city tree, I have the city, regardless of whether it's city or private, I have the arborist take a look at it and identify, is this a tree that needs to be trimmed? Is this a tree that needs to come down? And I rely on their expertise and experience. When they make a decision whether it needs to be trimmed or taken down, it's added to our hazardous tree list. And if it's a city tree, we bid it out with our hazardous tree bid.
Right.
If it's a private tree, I send the landowner a letter and tell them that your tree is in need of trimming, or it needs to come down because it's threatening the right of way. And threatening the right of way is whether it's threatening sidewalk or roadway. And so that's how we handle new planting, and that's how we handle hazardous trees. We have been Tree City USA for 39 years. We've been successful in maintaining that designation. And
Pretty cool.
to my knowledge, I have not heard of any issues related to trees on how we maintain them.
Okay.
So,
Either.
Well, thank you for updating us. To me, it sounds like we already have a structure in place. We have a pretty solid plan. I think you mentioned something about 1,500 trees.
so
Right. And so we already have staff that's not just city staff, but we have a city forester who is a certified arborist on staff. I think Fred's been with us for several years now, if I know that correctly.
Fred Hathaway was our city forester,
Okay.
arborist. He retired last year,
Okay.
and now we have Steve Novellano, who owns Sweet Meadows out of Davenport.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's our guy.
Okay.
He actually worked his first year with, in hand with Fred, so he could learn what Fred was doing, and so he is now transitioned to our own
Good.
arborist.
Good.
He's doing a great job.
That was a side comment.
I'm sorry?
That was a side comment
We,
about the
yeah,
Milano's.
I was just thinking about how I feel like we're already got the proper protocol going, and I'm not sure that this is a path maybe we need to go down.
I would agree. I mean, I think one of the things that I like about this is that it prioritizes native species, that's like in writing somewhere. I think that's good. And I like that the intent is to like maintain or increase the number of trees in the city. But I think that those things could just be policies or written somewhere themselves, as opposed to having like a whole
New structure.
additional
Like,
thing. Yeah.
Any tree or shrub planted that is not maintained and is in compliance is considered a public nuisance.
Yeah.
The tree board, so the tree is now a public nuisance apparently, okay. Inform the city of such a nuisance and request the nuisance be abated in the length of the time required by the code. If they are not maintained in healthy growing, plants shall be maintained in healthy growing condition. Any plant dead, diseased, or significantly damaged needs to be abated with, like, I don't know. That just seems like a overreach that we are not currently doing that I don't know that I'm comfortable adding.
Right. Or that we have
I
the
don't know.
capacity to do.
That as well.
I'm not sure we
So-
need to add another layer because, as
Sounds
Chris
like-
just pointed out, we're not taking complaints.
Right. I
So
haven't heard
we
anything.
have a forward-thinking plan in place. I mean, the goal is to get 1,500 new trees planted. It takes time, it takes money, it takes people to water these plants for 2 years. Would you say you get up to 60 a year, or 25?
25 a year, so
So you
you're
end up
25 to 30.
doing
50 to
60.
60 trees a year we have to water.
Correct. That's a lot.
It is a lot. And it had been, up until recently, had always been done by Fred Hathaway
Oh, wow.
on a volunteer basis, so now it's something
Huh.
that we're kind of
Right.
trying to do. It's difficult.
Right.
We're looking for volunteers.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is like if there's interest in forming a
Volunteers.
tree board, then maybe that's where we need the help, is not in the
Watering the plants.
legislation and whatever, it's in the actual like physical work of maintaining.
Right.
Yeah.
It just felt like this is a whole new layer of
Right,
government.
like
Right.
permission to be on our personal property.
Right,
Yeah, I think we're probably in agreement.
okay, so,
I do want to add one little thing.
Sure.
In my letters for the tree removal, I do require that you do it in 30 days, and I think that's in a code, isn't it, Greg? You have 30 days to address our letter.
right,
I'm really lenient with it, like if someone called me up on date 29, I'm working on getting somebody, I'm really close,
Right.
I work with them, you know, I don't like, I work with them.
right,
I think there's only been one person had to go after, almost had to take it down ourselves, but he ended up taking it down.
okay,
But at the end of the 30 days, technically, we would hire somebody and take it down.
right.
But there's a whole proceeding, we gotta get Dave Merzig involved, and I haven't had to go that route in 4 years. I don't think Greg ever had to do that route.
Once.
I came
No,
really
I-
close once.
We have a
No,
system in place.
We have a system in place.
Okay.
We were gonna do the adaptive fire hydrant, thing, which is not, it still weighs heavy on my mind, that I haven't been able to set that up. Like in the winter, have people like adopt a fire hydrant, shovel it out. If we have the GIS map of like where the new trees are, potentially someone could adopt a tree and water it for 2 years.
I have to adopt things.
You gotta adopt stuff, man. You need volunteers. You need someone to say, I care about this one thing, and
Right.
then it's much easier to
That
get
is
it
my
done.
turn.
It'd be really nice if the landlord with a house there
Right.
would water it for us, but
Right.
that's not always the case.
I would, but I already have one, so it's well established. It's like older than I am. But Center Street could use a lot of trees, so if you plant trees on Center Street, let me know.
Okay. All right, so we'll consider this,
Could I ask a question?
sure, Don, what do you got?
If there were volunteers, how would they get the water to the tree?
Well, Fred was carrying around 5-gallon buckets and watering them by hand.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What, that's
We
the
have
only,
water.
That would make it harder to get volunteers.
that's the only hesitation that I have is that like, if someone doesn't know like how much to water it or how frequently to water it or whatever with like
Well, typically we
volunteers.
put gator bags on it and we water them once a week.
Okay.
So they have a gator bag for the gator bag and that should be good for a week.
He could make like a little YouTube video, and they could click on it, and you could teach
All right,
people.
you guys are getting a little lost. Okay.
But when it's such a wet year this year, we haven't had
Right.
to worry about it this year. So
Yeah,
that's good.
like 2.16 inches of rain.
It's been wild.
All right, so we'll consider this, item to be voted down at this time. Katie, you are
Yeah.
up on agenda number, or letter
Well-
C, sorry.
I sent you guys some stuff on rent stabilization.
Yep.
What I would like to, has everybody
I
looked at it?
tried to make it through all 19 pages.
Okay. What I'm
Thank you,
wondering
Chris.
is, since it's kind
Bye,
of
Chris.
a bigger topic, and there are supporting documents that potentially you could try to get them included in the packet for next time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
could
can do it all next
Yeah, because
time.
Yeah.
it took me a few minutes to go find that. I mean, it was
Yeah.
back in May, so it wasn't that long ago that you sent it to
Yeah.
us, but.
But I could like resurface it, and we could sort of prepare a little bit more.
Are we
discussion,
having,
but-
can I ask you,
Sure.
are we having an issue where we have rent that's not stabilized?
Oh, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this is a profound topic we need to discuss. Is that something you're not running into maybe? I mean, because we're different walks.
True. That's
It
true.
must be because I'm just asking the question.
No, well, just based on, but whatever.
What's going on with my phone?
So you know of several people that they go through a year or 2 years and then the rent goes up
Or
dramatically?
even every single year, or people being charged more than the percentage that they should, or application fee, like, or whatever, that's a whole different part.
Right.
But I think when I first moved here,
Mhm.
you could get a 2-bedroom apartment for like $700 maybe,
Okay.
right, with everything included. If you go look up a 2-bedroom apartment in Oleana right now, what are you paying?
1,000.
More.
Way more.
2,000.
2,000 minimum. There's people who are renting houses in Delhi and Davenport for 1,300, 1,400, 1,500. So there is definitely,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, just speaking from my experience living in the middle of town, and you
yeah.
too, that there's this conversation was based on the artificial inflation of prices due to abnormal leasing structures that exist in the city
Yes.
at this time.
That's a good way.
Okay.
So I was positing a few things to Dave Merzig, and he sent me information on rent stabilization, which we don't participate in here in the city,
Mhm.
but we could. So that's why I wanted to bring it up to look into it, see if that's something that we might be able to.
And so do we get
Figure out
home
more
rule
stuff.
on this? So it's a piece of state legislation. I know that they passed something at the state level. I got that from that PowerPoint that you sent us. But I didn't see the legislation, just the PowerPoint. So do we decide on what that looks like?
I wish I could pull it up on my phone. I'm sorry, I don't have it with me.
And then, I guess the other question I would have,
okay,
is
I'm
since
gonna write
there
that
is an
down.
issue that we're having, is for some folks that are maybe getting taken advantage of.
Significantly, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you are not a college student renting, yes.
Right, because I always thought it was just about limitation, to your point that if you're a young person, you might be willing to rent this place, but if you're not, you wouldn't want to rent this place. It
Mhm.
was about quality, not quantity, and plus quantity is in there. But that's not the issue?
I think that is definitely part of it.
Okay.
But I think the college market has really pressed upon things, like exactly how Katie described it. I'm not even gonna try to touch how she just described that. But also we had COVID and inflations and all these other things that keep putting rent up, but the wages aren't matching, and then so we've got, are you at all on like Otsego County rental page or anything like that? Okay. Because there are far more people who are looking for these places than there are people like landlords who have the affordability. I
Right.
mean,
So demand is outweighing the resource.
right, in the sense of, the resources available if you can pay $2,300 or $2,000, but if your income is only, if you like the 2-bedroom, you're looking at 2,200. Like it might be a little less, like probably like 1,900 to 2,200 depending.
Hmm.
if things are included. But people don't have the income for that, and so families leave, people who are graduating leave, Job Corps kids leave, people leave because they can't find, I mean, Jocelyn's always looking for places, do you know Jocelyn? She works at Job Corps. She was always looking for places for the students to move to after graduating.
Okay.
The issue is there's nothing that they will be able to afford, even working that full-time and being able to support themselves here.
Right.
So, even in a roommate situation, like say we were, you know, but I do think it deserves, so what were your thoughts? Or feelings on it, on the
And
rent
the
stuff?
rent stabilization, I was just inquiring, I wasn't aware that, landlords were doing it. I knew of, there's more demand than supply.
Right.
I mean,
Also-
that's for buying single-family homes to anything, I mean.
They're
really.
taking, like, also the quality, unfortunately.
Right, the quality's another issue.
Yeah, cause there is stuff that they have these people living in that I don't even get how
Right.
they are getting away with charging rent for humans living there.
Right. Okay, well, Katie, why don't you put the package together
Well,
in the next week or two, that'd be great.
yep.
Okay. We'll move on to the nomination process for the county council vacancies.
I'm sorry, before we move on, I just wanted to make sure, because I want to be able to come prepared to answer your question, which was about home rule.
Yes,
So you just want to know if this is not something that's done, that
that we
supersedes
can
the state
tweak it,
legislation?
we're not
Yeah.
gonna take a state thing and
Just plunk it here.
plunk it down.
Got it.
when
Okay.
We have home rule.
Okay, thank you.
Sound good?
Yep. I'm excited.
Where were we at with the county council vacancy? I thought we had taken care of that, so. The nomination process, I thought it was, did we table that?
When was it even?
I brought that up a few months ago, so.
I don't even remember it in the minutes last.
Yeah, I think it's from 3 or 4 months ago. I'm glad I wasn't alone, not remember.
No, I feel like we talked about it,
We had to talk about the council
early.
having the ability to make suggestions, whereas I think in the charter it just says that the mayor comes up with it. We talked about a process, I think Katie, you had some ideas about, after like the mayor presenting one. In this particular case, you raised, he's done 3 or 4, maybe after one,
That's right.
we go to the council and the council makes recommendations, but that's taking power away from the mayor, so we went down that
Right.
for a while.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
So December of '24 is the last mention of the topic. There was a follow-up discussion, and it would return to a future meeting for additional discussion.
Okay, cool.
But
So
it does not
did-
appear on any more agenda.
I was gonna say, it's not on any of
December
these.
24, you said?
December 16th, 2024.
Was the last time we talked
Oh,
about
I
it.
see. Here we go.
Okay.
Legislative committee packet. I would have to go back in my notes. Special election, that's right, cause we were saying if they would serve more than 6 months, that it would be, because there was time to have an election.
Election, yeah.
And
I
I
remember that.
inquired to the city attorney who said, because the way the city charter is written, we're not allowed to have special elections.
I think it has to do with the nominating process right now in the charter belongs to the mayor, and since we would be taking authority away from an elected
Correct.
official, it has to go to referendum.
Right.
Which
Did we pass the date though?
August 1st is the date. You would have to have it drafted.
August 1st?
Ooh,
Drafted,
to-
laid, approved.
we have the ethics board on, right?
Yes, that's going for public hearing on
ethics,
I
the
forgot about that.
redistricting was supposed to be on.
Yep, is
right?
on there, and staggered
Staggered terms.
is on. The other two are already confirmed, I have confirmation, they're on the sample ballots already.
Okay.
I just
But
can't
yeah.
submit the third until
Right.
tomorrow night.
I knew we had 3 things going for
Yeah.
public referendum.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this done.
We also talked about public notice requirements for announcing resignations.
You did, you said something about if you had the opportunity of 30 days or something like that. I think you remember you saying that.
That sounds right. Like,
It
because that
was
was one thing.
forward thinking, saying, hey, if you know that you're gonna be buying a house somewhere else, could you come and let the council know as soon as possible? I think that was the example. But I don't know where we move on this subject. If we take power away, then we gotta get it to a public referendum, so.
Right, and
How-
the mayor has to sign it.
Correct. And so you've got to get it through this committee to council, which is tomorrow, which we don't get enough time to put it on, so they ain't happening. I don't see where we make it to the August 1st, no matter
You
what you
would
try.
not August first without a number of special meetings.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's okay.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things, like you were saying, where it's like, it almost goes without saying that there should be some noticing, that there should be some input from the ward and maybe the council,
Right.
that there should be some of these things, but because it's not like written down anywhere, it's
It's not
very
in the charter.
subjective.
Right.
Right. So,
Because it didn't happen very often until
this term,
this term. And so it's happened
which is
4 times. Okay. Well, maybe it just won't ever happen again.
only 3 times, I think.
1, when he took 2, 3.
Oh, that's right, because he nominated Emily, and then Mike, 4. That's right.
What was the fourth?
Mike. Emily, so when Mark became mayor, he nominated his replacement for the 8th ward. And then when Emily resigned, he nominated you, and then also 1st ward and 7th ward.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's
4 times.
4 times.
Okay, so we will consider this an issue that we could work on, and
But
then
there's sort of
maybe
no
in
rush.
26 you could go to the
Yeah,
public
I agree.
referendum?
Yeah, we're sort of in a rush. Because we wouldn't be able to get out to a referendum even if we agreed and had it ready.
Okay. All right, so more importantly, you're gonna get this, the package information on the rent stabilization,
Yes.
right?
I'm so excited to start that work, thank you. That would be great.
Is that sarcasm in
No,
there?
it's the highest priority for me, so it's really, I'm very grateful actually,
Okay.
yeah, that we're gonna.
Shannon, do you have anything?
No, we're good.
Okay. I would say that concludes our meeting.